Ayan. And now we are live. Hi, hello, magandang tanghali. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another session of Career Talk Thursdays. I'm Roan and I'll be your host for today. So makikita naman natin na ang dami na agad energy, di ba? Dun sa kabilang frame. Ayun. So,
Hindi pa nga
ngayon,
nagsasalita eh.
hindi pa nga na-introduce masyado eh. So, this is our 15th session. Akalain niyo yun, 15 weeks straight na tayo magkakasama, di ba? Every Thursday. And this afternoon, we'll be talking about Personal Branding 101, how to build confidence and self-esteem. So, Kuya Show, para ba to sa mga hashtag love yourself? Charot. So,
Oo nga, parang mali yata yung guest na binook nyo ngayon. Confidence. Ano po yun?
Yun nga yung maganda eh. Kasi di ba very raw yung conversation na paano magkakaroon ng self-confidence kahit na hindi mo masyadong mahal yung sarili mo. Diba?
Ay, magandang angulo yun.
Oh, diba? Diba? Ayan. So, para ito sa mga fresh grads, Gen Zs or young millennials na gusto malaman, paano nga ba tayo magiging confident enough to really own our narrative?
Para sa mga fresh grads that don't feel that fresh. O, diba? We're here to make you feel fresh.
Kasi medyo tumatanda na kami. So, mafe-feel nyo talaga na fresh kayo, diba? So, for today's session, medyo iba to sa previous sessions natin. Kasi ngayon, puro kwentuhan lang at tanungan lang tayo ngayon. Isipin nyo, nakikinig lang kayo ng advice sa radio station. Kasi literally, meron tayong radio DJ na guest speaker, diba? So, wag na natin patagalin. Let's all welcome our guest speaker for today kahit nagsasalita na siya.
Ito
Okay lang yan. Nakikita natin, di ba, na sobrang daming energy. Tapos mamaya baka kailangan natin ng tissue para iyak-iyak, ganon. So, ito, kilala natin siya sa pagiging Kuya Show sa TikTok with 4 million followers. Wow! Nakaganon muna daw.
4.5.
Yeah. 4.5. O, diba? Pahingi naman ng 5, oh. Para medyo mag-M na rin kami. Charot.
Transfer ko mamaya sa'yo. Bank transfer ko mamaya.
Ito talaga yung pinakamahalaga sa bio note ni Show. Na for dad ni Gonta. So, meron tayong special guest. Medyo hindi natin kinaya yung talent fee ni Gonta. Ayan, nasaan siya? Nandyan lang siya mamaya.
Pag-iisipan ko pa.
Makikita rin natin si Kuya Show sa iba't ibang TV commercials. As in, i-search nyo lang. Marami tayong makikitang TV commercials niya. And syempre, proud ako na he's one of my friends na na-meet ko dahil sa social media. So let's all welcome Sho Suzuki. Ayan, di ba? Wala pa nga. Nagsalitahan na tayong lahat.
Sa wakas, after 3 minutes and 25 seconds, na-intro rin yung guest nyo. Hello! What's up, Roan? I miss you na. Wow, feeling close to tayo. Once pa lang yata kami nag-meet in person.
In person.
Twice. Instant chemistry, instant connection. At syempre, alam niyo naman na yung connection.
Instant boyfriend namin si Show.
Boy space friend. Instant girl space friends ko na rin sila. But I'm so happy to be here. Alam mo, nung sinabi mo nga sa akin na may work kang ganito, na nagla-live ka na ganito, sobrang impressive talaga for me. Kasi bukod dun sa ginagawa nyo to inspire people in the LGBTQ+ community, ang galing din na tinutulungan nyo rin yung mga, younger people, fresh grads, to navigate their way through life. Kasi aminin na natin, mahirap talaga, lalo na dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? Hindi ganun ka-ideal yung ekonomiya natin, hindi ganun ka-ideal yung job market ngayon. So, importante talaga to give advice. Kasi ako rin, nung bata ako, sobrang nahirapan ako to look for the right direction. Kasi hindi masyadong pinag-uusapan ang work, ang opportunities in a realistic way, 'di ba? Laging basta mangarap ka lang ng malaki, ganito. Pero just to set your expectations then hindi po ganoon. I'm very straightforward. Sobrang real talk yung ma-expect nyo today. So, sana may matutunan kayo kahit paano. Thank you for having me.
And yun, nabanggit mo naman na medyo napa-throwback na tayo, di ba? So, lubos-lubosin na natin yung trip to memory lane. Can you briefly share your college life back then and konting overview about your career journey.
Okay. So, back then, college, so mga a few months ago, charot lang. Medyo
Tayo pa
magulo
ba naglolokohan dito?
medyo magulo kasi yung background ko in general. So, yung nanay ko Japanese, yung tatay ko Koreano, pero dito na ako pinanganak at lumaki. Never akong nag-attend ng Filipino school, kaya never actually ako natuto mag-Tagalog sa school setting. It was just through work na. Nung bata ako, I went to an international school for elementary. Tapos nag-Japanese school ako after that for a couple of years. And then college was in Australia. Pero nung time na yun, as in, I'm sure may imagine nyo na yung identity crisis ko. Gulong-gulo talaga ako. Hindi ko alam yung gusto kong gawin sa buhay kasi hindi ko rin masyadong kilala yung sarili ko, 'di ba? Ang daming factors eh. Yung multicultural background, hindi ako masyadong nakakapag-relate kay mommy, kay daddy, at hindi na rin ako masyadong nakakapag-relate sa mga friends ko na Pinoy, yung purong Pinoy. Kasi kahit na dito ako lumaki, iba pa rin yung family setting nila tsaka yung environment nila sa bahay. So, nahirapan din ako i-navigate yung gusto ko sa school. Nung nag-Australia ako, ang pinili kong course ay Bachelor of Arts in Social Science. At ang number one reason kung bakit yun yung pinili ko na course is gusto ko lang makapili ng course na maraming electives. Kasi hindi ko nga alam yung gagawin ko sa buhay. At yun yung difference siguro dito sa Pilipinas tsaka sa abroad, lalo na sa Western countries. Yung school or education system nila sa college dito, I think very similar pa rin to high school. Marami pa rin kayong mandatory subjects or units na kailangan yung i-take na hindi masyadong related dun sa kurso nyo. Pero sa abroad kasi, kung hindi naman specialized yung course nyo, marami kang opportunity to pick electives. Pwede kang mag-theater kahit na social science yung ano mo, ang dami mong pwedeng gawin. So, priority ko talaga to explore all of that. And then in terms of work experience as well, yung very first job ko, I got at 15 years old. And this was part-time lang siya kasi friend ni mommy yung owner ng Kumon sa isang branch sa Makati. So, nag-check lang ako ng papers for Japanese, English, and Math. Yun yung pinaka-first job ko. Pero nung nag-Australia ako, doon talaga ako excited magtrabaho. Kasi, di ba, Roan, dito sa Pilipinas, hindi ganun kauso yung, yung working student. Yung
Oo.
napapanood natin sa TV nung lumalaki tayo na, ay wow, sino ba? Sino ba yung mga pinanood natin? Magkaiba rin
Parang,
yung generation natin eh. Pero yung mga teenagers sa mga teen dramas, laging may part-time job sa mall, ganon. Gustong-gusto ko gawin yun. So, nung nasa Australia,
parang dito, yung mga nagpo-part-time, yung talagang in need talaga. Pero
yes.
hindi yung mga kunwari, yung mga may kaya, tapos magpo-part-time. Parang hindi siya ganun.
Exactly, oo. So, ako naman, dahil marami akong napanood ng mga shows na ganon, dream ko talaga magka-part-time sa, I don't know, sa isang store, sa mall. So, ginawa ko talaga yon. As in, I worked for siguro 3 different stores, 4 different stores. Nag-waiter ako, nag-retail ako during my time there. Which, in hindsight, I think I've always been raketero in that sense. Lagi akong may part-time. And pang part-time lover lang talaga si Kuya Show, hindi siya pang full-time.
Yung
Hashtag
commitment talaga eh. Hanggang ngayon daw na-adopt.
Medyo actually. Pero yon, itutuloy ko ba? Parang ang haba na eh. Pero marami pa kasi akong work experience kasi medyo may edad na rin si Kuya Show. Sige, ikukompleto ko lang yung resume ko. So, after that, nung bumalik ako sa Pilipinas, yung first official job ko was in radio as well. Pero siguro mga one and a half lang ba ako or 2 years lang ako dun sa radio station na yun. And I was really young. I didn't know how to work in a proper office setting. After that, racket muna. Nag-host lang ako kasi nakuha ko yung mga rackets before nung nasa radio station pa ako. And then, at around 24, my mid-20s or nearing my mid-20s, doon na ako nag-decide na mag-try mag-office job kasi mahirap ang buhay as a raketero and I needed something stable. So nag-work ako sa office job na yon as a Japanese representative for siguro mga 4 to 5 years. At yun na yung pinaka-stable job ko na office setting. At sa totoo lang, medyo nabaliw ako doon. Pero yeah, so yun na yun. Up until that point, yung resume ko siguro before everything I'm doing now.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, of all the experiences na meron ka, sobrang feeling ko makakatulong ka talaga sa viewers natin today. Kasi 'di ba, yung topic natin ay parang paano yung process of creating our own identity, and yun
Mhm.
nga, bilang na-raise na natin kanina na paano tayo magiging self-confident kung hindi natin masyadong mahal yung sarili natin, 'di ba? And
Mhm.
kung wala talaga tayong kumpiyansa sa sarili, paano magi-start? So, ayun, siyempre 'di ba, as we progress in life, nasa continuous process tayo of creating our own identity. Meron tayong quote-unquote image na gusto natin na dun tayo ma-recognize, whether by just being yourself or by fitting in sa standards ng society. So, para sa'yo, Kuya Show, how would you describe personal branding on and outside social media? Gaano ba siya ka-importante nowadays? Importante ba to sa pag-establish ng career?
Yeah, well, for me personally, sobrang applicable kasi siya sa trabaho ko. Pero I think regardless kung ano yung industriya na papasukin nyo, it is important to make yourself stand out to an extent. Not to the point na may matatapakan ka, pero kailangan mo talagang mag-create ng sarili mong strong identity sa workplace. For me, I actually think that I've done a relatively good job at this, even prior to social media. Kasi back then, nung nag-host ako, as in, yun lang yung racket ko, di naman ako kilala eh. Nobody really knew who I was. Di naman ako sikat na social media person, artista. Wala, I was just somebody that worked in radio. At marami-rami rin naman yung mga radio DJs dito sa Pilipinas. So, it's not like I stood out that much back then. But my way of branding myself was always to create or to showcase the highlights of my work. So even way back then, sa personal social media pages ko lang, before TikTok, before any of that, I would always make sure to capture my best moments when I'm at work, my best clients, best whatever it is, and showcase that dun sa personal page ko that had a lot of other clients and agencies um, that were on my friend list. Just to make sure that I'm relevant sa kanila, I'm always gonna be top of mind. And I know it's hard kasi yung iba, I'm sure maraming nagsabi, maraming tumingin dun sa post ko and thought, ano ba to? Ang yabang-yabang niya, pinapost niya yung work niya, ganito, ganyan. But, you know, at the end of the day, hindi naman sila yung magbabayad ng bills ko eh. It's not the bashers that's gonna pay for my bills. No, it really has to be you eh. So, ako, I mean, minsan apektado, pero wala talaga. Todo kayod lang. I had to do it for my work. Lalo na nung nag-quit ako ng office job ko at 29, which is kind of old ha. Like 29, I decided to go full-time raketero na. Kasi nag-start ako ulit sa radio, and then dun ko na pinush yung commercials, whatever. Imaginein mo, mag-VTR ako, mag-start ako at 29 years old. That's, you know, unfortunately sa industriya natin, that's kind of old na. Yung mga kasama ko dun, 21, 19, mga ganon. Pero I had no choice. I had to keep pushing myself. And then, anytime I would meet a new client, I would always make sure that I'm somehow remembered. Lalo na pag regular clients na, lagi ako may piniprepare for them if I meet with them. You know, the little gestures, they really matter. Eh. When it comes to personal branding, I think PR is a huge aspect of it. Hindi ko sinasabi na magsip-sip kayo, but you know, a kind gesture to show your appreciation. Kasi yes, sa totoo lang, may element din na, ay, sana magustuhan nila yung ginagawa ko para sa kanila, para ako ulit kunin next time. Pero more than that, yung gratitude ko lang talaga na, hey, thank you for booking me, thank you for trusting me, kahit na hindi naman ako super sikat, hindi naman ako the best in the industry, whatever it is. I think it's those little gestures, show your gratitude, you know, don't ever be entitled na deserve ko to. I know that that's our culture now. Na deserve ko yan, deserve ko this, but I think sometimes it blows up our ego eh. And know how to highlight the best of your work and personality. Yun eh. Find ways to highlight the best parts of you, the best parts of your work. tastefully para naman di ma-off din yung mga tao. So I think I've been doing that for a long time now. Even nung nasa Australia ako, ang dami ring competition sa mga part-time work. Daming estudyante. I remember yung resume ko talaga, I made it so bongga. Ayan, personal branding din yan, yung resume. Highlight the best of, the best of the best. Wow, Facebook group yan. Pero seryoso yung mga anik-anik, yung mga awards na maliliit lang na natatanggap ko sa school or certificate of churva-churva, talagang hina-highlight ko siya dun sa resume ko kasi hindi naman siya lie kasi totoo naman na natanggap ko yon. Pero the way I put it there made it seem like a huge achievement para lang mag-stand out. So again, just showcasing the highlights of your life talaga. Emphasize the best parts of you and make sure that people remember your name because of it. So yun yung personal branding experience ko, more or less outside of social media. Pero when it comes to social media naman, even Kuya Show was a personal branding choice. Kasi nung nasa 1 million ako or 2 million followers sa TikTok, hirap na hirap yung mga tao sabihin yung Show Suzuki. Hindi nila nagigets na pangalan yun kasi hindi naman talaga siya common name dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? And then once na ginawa ko siyang Kuya Show, ayun, may recall na.
Retention.
Branding, oo. Kasi may relatability doon. Ako yung kuya nyo. Very big on kuya, ate culture tayo dito sa Pilipinas. 'Di ba? Sobrang foreign ng itsura ko. At saka pag nag-i-English ako ng diretso, minsan naiisip ng tao na hindi ako taga-Pilipinas. Kaya yung relatability medyo lumalayo na eh. Ang dami nagsabi sa akin, nasa Pinas ka pala. Akala ko taga-abroad ka. Akala ko nasa Japan ka, whatever. Akala ko nasa States ka. Kaya kinailangan kong gumawa ng personal brand para makapag-relate sa audience ko dito. Kasi ang target audience ko naman is I want to inspire people in the Philippines to take better care of their dogs. I want to inspire people here na LGBTQ plus community, na nasa LGBTQ plus community. I wanted to inspire people here by showcasing radio dito sa Pilipinas. Pero sa itsura kong to, sa pangalan kong to, di ba, medyo may disconnect. Kaya branding choice talaga yung Kuya Show. Branding choice din na pinush ko talaga mag-Tagalog sa TikTok. Kaya maraming salamat TikTok. As in, ang dami kong natutunan na words in Tagalog dahil sa app na yon. But again, all of those things were personal branding. Like choices to make sure na na-associate yung personality or yung traits na yon sa personality ko, sa pangalan ko. Kasi di ba, Roan, one of the things that we're going through now is digital clutter. Ang dami nating napapanood sa TikTok, sa Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. And hindi na natin natatandaan yung pangalan nila eh. Di ba? Parang, kilala ko siya, viral siya dahil sa ganito ganyan, pero hindi mo alam yung pangalan. Or there are so many people that have like tens of millions of followers na parang, okay, yun pala yung name niya, 'di ba? Walang masyadong personal branding there. I'm not saying that I've achieved that to the level of other people na kilalang kilala ako. Pero I think considering yung background ko na hindi naman ako artista or anything, I wasn't ever managed by any big agency, walang ganon. I think I've worked pretty hard on it and medyo may payoff naman siya kasi kahit na sobrang dami na talaga natin, kahit papano, I still get to use it for work. So importante talaga yon, to not just be entertaining, to not just use your skills, but show them off din. No, diba? Show Suzuki, show them off then in the right way, to the right people, to create that recall.
So parang based sa experiences mo, naging intentional talaga yung personal branding mo on social media.
Yes.
Since yun nga, na yung sa culture and yung dun sa pinanggalingan mo, sobrang naging intentional talaga yung naging personal branding mo. And
Oo naman. Like, I wanted to connect with the audience more eh. Medyo nafa-frustrate ako pag sinasabi nila sa akin na, dito ka pala sa Pinas. Or, nagtatagalog ka pala. Parang gusto ko sabihin, oo, and you can call me Kuya. I want to talk to you, the Filipinos. Kayo naman yung audience ko. So, intentional talaga siya. At syempre, hindi na tayo magpaplastikan, Roan. Kasama na rin dun yung being practical na knowing that kung pwedeng maging work to in the future. Kasi nung 2020, nung nagti-TikTok ako, walang work naman dun eh. Like, nobody knew, nobody cared about TikTok. Everybody thought it would die down. So, nandun din yun. Kailangan practical tayo. So, naisip ko rin na, okay, baka in the future, kung may sponsored posts or whatever, mas helpful rin na alam ng mga kliyente na taga dito si Show Suzuki para pwede akong padala ng mga products na pwede kong ipakita. May potential for that too. That's also, I think, that was one of the smartest things that I did. Kasi initially, parang mas ma-English din ako. And then very foreigner yung ano ko, yung dating ko sa TikTok. But having said that, lahat ng ginagawa ko, kahit na intentional siya, it's still true to me. Kasi lahat naman tayo, di ba? We have so many layers as human beings. Hindi lang tayo isang ganito. Like, Roanne isn't just Roanne in a relationship with Tina. You're so much more than that. You're somebody that gives career advice. You're a cat mom, diba? We have so many different aspects of ourselves. So yun yung ginagamit ko. I use the aspects of myself that I think are applicable to this particular platform and build my brand off of that. Nag-gets nyo ba? Haba ng sinabi ko?
Okay lang yan. Kasi in relation sa mga kunwari fresh grads, I think sobrang applicable nito sa pag-establish nyo ng LinkedIn profile nyo.
Yeah.
Siyempre, diba, yung mga HR, isa-search kayo, diba? So, based sa mga experiences ni Show, magandang i-apply yun sa profile nyo sa LinkedIn. Kasi yun talaga yung go-to place or website ng mga HR para makita kung ano yung quote-unquote image nyo or personal branding nyo.
And presentation is so important. Alam kong it sounds shallow right now, pero it's hard to get to know somebody right off the bat kung titingnan mo lang yung profile nila eh. Kaya doon naman talaga tayo nagbabase a lot of times eh. So don't underestimate the power of presentation for everything. Even from your photo. I know na dito sa Pilipinas, it's not that great na, we always require photos kasi syempre may discrimination na pwedeng magganap. But you can present yourself in such a way that will attract the right clients, the right work for you. If may target kang office, think about how your personality, your skills can be applied to their setting, sa office setting nila. And then try to find a middle ground para when you put something out there, like your profile, your resume, mafe-feel nila yung connection. Kung ako, relatability sa audience ko sa TikTok, kailangan makarelate din yung mga HR people dun sa offices, dun sa profile nyo, and they feel like, oh, it's a good fit. You need to be able to curate your LinkedIn profiles, your resumes, whatever it is, when you do that.
Like for example, meron ka experience na tumulong ka sa pagbabantay ng tindahan nyo, di ba? So, pwede mong sabihin marketing assistant.
Pwede,
small-scale business, di ba?
It's true.
Ganon, presentation and packaging.
Oo. Tsaka yung mga ganon, I mean, ang ganda ng story na pwede mong, let's say, kung nasa interview setting na kayo, tapos tatanungin ka about that, you can still be honest. Again, hindi namin sinasabi na magsinungaling ka, ha? You can still be honest about it, but make sure that you talk about it in a way that's relatable and that's inspiring kasi nakaka-inspire naman talaga yon na you helped out your family business by doing this and that. It taught you how to deal with customers talaga from a certain demographic, diba? Parang it taught me skills to be able to communicate to customers like this. I learned a lot about costing din and all of that. Diba? Ang dami mong pwedeng sabihin eh. Na-a-apply mo yun eh. Parang wag nyong i-minimize yung mga experiences na gano'n. Wag nyong maliitin. Thank you. Wag nyong maliitin yung mga experiences na gano'n sa office or sa corporate setting because may natutunan ka rin doon. It's just about making sure that you talk about it and present it in a way that can also inspire your interviewer or the job you're applying for, the person that can potentially hire you for this.
Yun. Diba? Sobrang importante talaga ng delivery. Kasi lalo na ngayon, for example, sa TikTok, kailangan mo dapat maging, yun talagang first few seconds pa lang eh, diba? Dapat, makuha mo na yung attention ng mga viewers. Katulad sa pag-apply sa trabaho, dapat yung resume nyo or cover letter, diba? Dapat makuha na agad yung attention ng HR, di ba? So,
Yeah, kasi
ayun.
alam ko na lahat tayo feeling natin meron tayong pwedeng i-offer sa mundong to or sa dream job mo na yan that's special, 'di ba? We all feel like, oh, but I can do this for you, I can do that for you. Unfortunately, hindi natin pwedeng i-expect na makikita nila agad yun. So in order for us to reach that, you really need to make sure to show them, give them the best impression that you can because we do
Mm.
live in a very competitive world. Napaka-competitive ng ano natin, 'di ba? Ng
Mm.
ng job market natin ngayon. So you need to find a way to make sure that you're attention grabbing the moment you see them. May question pala tayo.
Question, ano daw yung recommendation mo na ilalagay sa resume or CV if ever wala pang work experience like me na student pa lang?
That anything and everything you've done in school. If you were team captain of your basketball team, even if you were part of a cultural group, society, mga afternoon activities, you include all of that, 'di ba? Parang you participated in this particular school activity, help facilitate your gathering, a certain event you organized, lahat ng mga achievements mo sa school. Do that kasi when I applied for my jobs in Australia, I only had one part-time experience, pero the rest, talagang in-embellish ko lang yung mga school experiences ko, yung mga certificates ko, kahit participation trophy man yan or whatever it is, I will make sure na nandun yun at naka-highlight yun. Kasi malay ba nila kung gaano ka-impressive yun sa school nyo? You know what I mean? Like, it's a matter of how impressed you are, making sure you remind yourself how impressive those accomplishments are and putting them there. Like, don't be shy. Don't hesitate to put them on there. Kasi lahat naman ng aspeto na ng school life natin, we can apply it din sa resumes natin. And there's so many things we can learn na pag pinag-isipan nyo ng mabuti, minsan kasi nakakalimutan natin, di ba? Or feeling natin wala naman tayo masyadong ginawa dun sa activity yun. But if you think about it, you say, oh wait, I learned people skills here. I learned management skills. I learned organizing skills. Pati yung mga ganon. Kung ikaw yung naglinis after whatever it is, nag-volunteer to do that, you can still put that in there, you assisted with organizing the props that were used, whatever it is, pati mga theater background nyo. Lahat ginawa ko, nasa school play ako nung time na yun. I think nilagay ko nga rin yun sa resume ko eh. You focus on all the best parts of yourself and then you put that and you show it off proudly to them.
Ayun. Sana nasagot ni Kuya Show yung tanong mo. And moving forward, based sa mga napag-usapan natin sa process natin of creating our own identity, minsan ang hirap bigyan justice lahat ng skills natin, lahat ng capabilities natin as a person if wala kang kumpiyansa sa sarili. So, kaya mahalaga ang pag-usapan kung ano nga ba yung first step sa pag-build ng self-confidence. So, para sa'yo, Kuya Show, paano mo ba masasabi na confident ang isang tao?
Paano ko nasasabi na confident ang isang tao?
Oo.
Usually, pag hindi sila hindi sila ganun ka-affected sa mga nangyayari sa paligid nila. Not na wala silang pake. Pero kasi, alam mo naman, chismis, marites society tayo dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? Pati mga friends natin, minsan binabackstab tayo, ganito, ganyan. Nafe-feel ko talaga yung confidence ng isang tao kapag may narinig siyang masama tungkol sa kanya or sinasabihan siya ng hindi masyadong magandang bagay, pero hindi siya affected kasi alam niya naman sa sarili niya na hindi siya ganun. At makikita mo talaga, imbis na magre-react siya violently or manunumbat siya or magaganti siya, pag hindi talaga siya affected, dun ko nakikita na, wow, that's real confidence right there. That silent confidence. Dun ko nakikita eh. Yung mga reactions na, mas maganda naman ako dyan eh. Hindi, mas matalino naman ako dyan eh. Uy, pero mas magaling naman ako sa ganito eh. Yung mga ganon, nagpo-project sila eh. Feeling ko nagpo-project pa sila, which is normal ha. And lalo na pag, alam ko marami tayong fresh grads, young people watching us right now, lalo na kung nandun pa kayo sa age na yon, stage na yon, it's so normal. Ako nga, I'm so much older than you and I still go through it, insecurities, envy, it's hard to get rid of those emotions. And sometimes it's natural din eh, 'di ba? we naturally feel competitive and envious. And it's okay. I think sometimes you have to accept it na, uy, medyo naiingit ako kay Roan. Ang ganda ng ginagawa niya ditong live show by Prospel. Sana ako may show din ako ng ganito. You know, may konting inggit, I'll tell her, like, Roan, galing mo talaga. Nakakaingit. Gusto ko rin ng ganyan. Use that to push yourself even further. Don't bring them down. I mean, I understand, again, because sobrang competitive ng society natin at mahilig tayo mag-compare dito sa Pilipinas, di ba? Kaya mahirap talaga to reach that confidence level when you feel like you're being compared to everybody else who seems so much better than you, you know? Even nung nagko-commercials ako, nabanggit mo kanina, nagko-commercials ako, my gosh, just going to a VTR audition, any audition, you know, and you go in there and everybody looks like you, but they're taller, mas guwapo sila, mas makinis sila, mas bata sila, you know, your confidence really gets tested in those situations. So always remember that, you know, mas lamang yung mga ibang tao in other ways and mas lamang ka rin in your own way. You have your skill set then. You know, to each to their own talaga. But it's hard. It's normal. Don't hate yourself for feeling like that too.
Parang gagamitin mo siyang way para talaga to better yourself, no? Na hindi ka maninira ng ibang tao. Parang sa merit mo talaga siya ma-earn yung confidence mo. And yung tanong dito ni Sofia, how are you able to gain confidence in speaking, especially hosting po?
Sophia, I don't know if this is good advice, but it's what I've been doing. It's what I did for so long. Fake it till you make it. I am a very insecure person. You know, I didn't have the best support system growing up. Aside dun sa identity crisis ko, syempre, I'm gay too. And, you know, it's still a hard world to live in for gay people. So, ang daming mga insecurities doon. Wala akong mga kapatid. And when it came to, you know, hosting, I kind of treated it as like performing na rin. Like, I remember one of the first events I hosted, akala ko talaga, wala akong idea sa hosting eh. So, yung imagination ko nun, basta paglabas ko dun, mag-cheer lahat ng tao. So, okay lang yan. Hype ko lang sila. My gosh, no. It's really not like that. You go in there, you say, hello, everybody! You know? So, it was really fake it till you make it. And that's exactly what I did. I kind of did it for myself. Like, there was a point na I would always just forget about the audience. Hindi ako mag-expect sa audience. Parang relationship advice lang din to. Huwag kayong mag-expect. Seryoso to. Don't expect them to love you, to cheer for you, ganito, ganyan. Just do your best for yourself. Have a standard for yourself. And then keep building on that. Sa umpisa, I really didn't think too much about the audience. Mas the program, how I wanted to deliver it. Kasi mahirap, tsaka nakakatakot mag-host. You know, sometimes I feel like, well, this is because I'm not the best singer. Sometimes I feel like it can be more challenging to host than to sing. Kasi if you sing, you know what you're gonna say, you know what you're gonna, you know the words, and then you're kind of in and out. Whereas when you're hosting, parang nililigawan mo yung buong yung buong room, yung buong area, di ba? And that can be hard sometimes. So, again, I will go back to just fake it till you make it, and then you'll start getting used to it. Pero to this day, I still get really nervous. But it's the good kind of nervous. Yung kaba na hinahanap ko. Kasi tinutulungan ako to push myself there. And, you know, a lot of people can benefit from speaking up, from hosting skills. Kasi it's those that speak up and say something significant and make people feel special that are usually noticed and that are praised and excel in their workplace. Kahit accountant ka pa or whatever job you are in right now. So much of that matters diba? How people talk to you. Doon natin na-feel yung we decide who we want to be with, who we prefer doon sa communication style ng mga tao. Usually kahit nga sa hospital, ako wala kasi akong alam sa medical course, whatever it is, wala akong medical background whatsoever. So usually, I think most people, halos lahat ng mga pasyente, pag namimili sila ng doktor, unless referred sila or whatever, dun sila nagbabase sa sa bedside manner ng doktor. kung gaano kabait, parang, okay, well, this is what we can do for you, ganito, ganyan, di ba? Kahit na, let's say lang, siya pala yung laging bagsak sa school, barely pass the boards, pero pag ganyan siya magsalita, versus someone na, okay, kailangan nyo na magpa-opera ng ganito, ganyan, tapos ito yung bill nyo. O, di ba? Doon pa rin tayo sa muntik na bumagsak, pero because of the way they presented themselves, they hosted, niligawan ka dun sa consultation, dun pa rin tayo. So I think there's a lot of benefit there. And really, if you don't feel that confident, just fake it till you make it. Because I believe that the best way to reach that level of confidence in hosting is to do as much of it. At hindi mo talaga, you can't do anything. Eh. You are gonna be nervous when you go out there on stage. The best you can do siguro to be less nervous is to be more prepared. So just make sure na meron kang talking points and meron kang mga ready na spiels, mga ad-libs kung sakaling kailangan mong mag-stretch. That will help you a little bit. Parang may security blanket ka, di ba? The safety blanket. But then other than that, embrace the kaba. You know, because that excitement it's nice. It means you're trying something new. Good luck. Sana maka-host, sana maging co-host kita in the future.
Sobrang felt nung sinabi mong fake it till you make it. Kasi yun din yung naging mantra ko at some point. Na, ay, akala ko nag-freeze ka. Kasi at some point, wala din akong self-confidence. And alam mo yun, parang nung sinabi yung fake it till you make it, hindi ka naman fraud eh. Parang tinatry mo lang yung outside of your comfort zone na hindi ka ganun kasanay doon sa ginagawa mo. Pero you fake it till you make it. Tapos eventually parang medyo binabago ko na siya na share it till you make it, na parang sinishare ko yung journey ko and ganun. Parang nakikita ko rin yung process ko kung paano ko naabot yun. So, sa tingin ko hindi naman siya ganun kagaya sinabi mo na bad advice. Pero sa ibang tao nag-work yun.
Yeah. Baka lang kasi ma-misinterpreted. But yeah, when we say fake it till you make it, hindi naman namin sinasabi na, you know, be plastic. Kasi hindi naman peke yung program, hindi naman peke yung mga sinasabi mo. Those are all real things happening in real time sa event, sa shoot, whatever it is you're doing. The only thing you're faking is, you know, your confidence to be there. And I think that's normal in a lot of settings naman talaga. So don't be too hard on yourself. Diba nga parang may scientific study din na, you know, if you're feeling sad, just fake laugh and then eventually it will become a genuine laugh. Sometimes you just have to do it. Kasi in life naman, almost all the new things that we try, hindi naman tayo confident eh. Diba? Kunwari lang, sige, kunwari lang, matapang tayo. Kunwari lang, diba? Mag-ano tayo, mag-skydive, whatever it is, adventurous stuff. And you know, you owe it to yourself to try naman talaga when it comes to these things.
Parang kunwari content creator ako, tapos naging content creator ka talaga, di ba? Parang wala naman tayong idea sa ginagawa natin dati sa YouTube or sa TikTok, tapos hindi mo namamalayan, may 4.5 million followers ka na pala. Di ba? Naalala ko kasi yung conversation namin last time na parang hindi niya daw, sabi ni Show, shinare niya na hindi niya daw alam yung ginagawa niya sa TikTok at first.
Hindi
kasi,
talaga.
Yun nga, parang bago lang din talaga siyang platform. Pero kita nyo naman, di ba?
Tsaka hindi ako ng social media na tao. Prior to 2020, pinilit lang talaga ako ng boss ko na mag-TikTok that time. Talaga ako ma-Instagram na tao din before. So, medyo nahirapan din ako. But ang advantage naman sa social media, sa mga vlogs, is that mas komportable ka kasi usually mag-isa ka lang naman, camera lang yung kausap mo, so pwede ka mag-practice. And I think it's a really good way to develop your communication skills as well. Even just, you know, if you want to practice doing an interview with somebody, or getting interviewed, pretending like you're talking to somebody, sobrang nakakatulong yun.
Kasi mapapanood mo after, no? And, ay, parang awkward ko sa point na to. Pwede mo ulitin, reshoot, ganyan. Exactly. Meron tayo ulit question dito na, how do performance mistakes affect your confidence and self-esteem? How do you deal with such downfalls?
Oof. Dati talaga, it was really, really bad. Kasi, minsan, may moments talaga ako na, you know, I wanna be perfect. May pagka-perfectionist ako. Lalo na on radio. Lalo na when I was doing the radio spiels. on TikTok, and at the height of it na sobrang daming na-impress sa mga segues ko, ganito ganyan. Anytime na magkakamali ako, oh my gosh, as in galit na galit ako sa sarili ko kasi live yun eh, 'di ba? Some people think it's recorded pero hindi. Lahat ng mga TikTok air checks ko, live na live yun. And then konti na nga lang yung sasabihin mo, magkakamali ka pa, magbabuckle ka pa, mabubulol ka pa, mali yung pagkabigkas mo ng word or whatever. And even my radio partners before, they were like, baliw mo naman show, that's too much. You know, don't be too hard on yourself. Nobody's gonna notice that. Ikaw lang naman nakakapansin. Be kind to yourself. Because we're human. Even the best DJs, the best hosts, the best accountants, the best doctors unfortunately make mistakes too, you know. You have to be kind to yourself. And aminin ko may mga times pa rin na medyo ako sa sarili ko, na irk ako sa sarili ko pag nagkakamali ako. But I've learned to just be kind to myself and let it go. It's not a big deal. I just have to remember it's not a big deal. I can do another take later. I can try it again. I can try something else in the future. It's normal. It's part of life, and you learn from it. Sometimes you'll still make it again. You know, that's normal too. Lalo na sa industriya natin, when you're hosting, when you're in radio, it's impossible to speak perfectly. You know, it's physically impossible talaga unless sobrang trained ka at scripted lahat ng binabasa mo na pageant. Pati nga mga pageant queens make mistakes, diba? They stutter, they buckle. It's okay. Ang pinaka-importante doon is not the mistake itself, is how you recover from it. Because most of the time, mahahalata yung mistake nyo pag nag-focus kayo doon. Pag nagsabi kayo ng, mali, kasi ayan, nabulol na, ganon. Hindi, just keep going. Repeat the word, diba? If you say something like, oh, it's 12:41 on the clock, you're still listening to me. You're still, don't do that. Just keep on going. Don't focus on the mistake, and then you have to let it go na. Let it go right away. Kasi if you don't let it go, if you don't, let it go, when you keep continuing on with your spiel, madidistract ka na eh. Di ka pa over dun sa mistake mo eh, di ba? Parang relationship lang ulit. Di ka pa over sa ex mo. Paano ka makakapag-move on sa bago? Paano ka makakapag-move on sa bagong spills mo? Lagi mo lang isipin, my God, I can't believe yun yung sinabi ko kanina. Baka magkamali ka ulit. Yan. Learn to be kind to yourself and let go of the mistakes right away.
Grabe, para talagang para love advice din kasi nagturuan din tayo paano mag-move on, di ba?
Di mo na kailangan ng love advice. Kailangan ko ng love advice from you, Roan.
May ganon. Eto, may tanong pa tayo. Sabi ni Craig, I do get nervous always whenever I speak in front of a lot of people. In that sense, how do you overcome that fear of public speaking?
Okay, sige. Let's try to break it down to more practical tips. So, nag-a-apply pa rin yung sinabi ko kanina na you fake it till you make it, diba? And yung expectation. So, one, always check your expectations. Huwag mong i-expect na pagdating mo doon, dapat mag-react yung audience in a certain way. Kasi pag hindi nangyari yon, doon ka mahihirapan. Pag halimbawa may naisip kang joke tapos hindi sila tumawa, pag in-expect mo sila tumawa, wala na, mahihirapan ka na kasi madi-discourage ka na. So check your expectations. Don't expect anything from the audience. Two, I don't look at the audience. I try not to. Doon lang ako sa middle ground, like in between all their eyes. Or like somewhere there, para naman di nila isipin na nandun ako nakali. Wag naman dun sa ceiling or sa floor lang. Pero tumingin ka doon pero not directly at them. Don't make eye contact. Ako, I don't usually make that much eye contact. Lalo na pag malaki yung audience, yung group of people watching. Kasi that can also distract you really quickly. Lalo na pag may cute, diba, na bet mo. Charot lang. And again, one of the biggest things that really helps is always have ad-libs ready. Yung mga paulit-ulit lang, or kahit kung may cue card ka, yung mga sponsors, or ako, sometimes I would even write my ad-libs down. Yung bullet points lang, diba? Observe the room. Observe where you are. Ano yung masasabi mo sa room that you're in right now? Ay, wow, it's so interesting yung design na ganito, ganyan. Or, kung may history ka doon, oh yeah, I used to come here before, ganito, ganyan. Observe the people, parang, oh, I saw somebody dressed up like that. I-bullet points mo yan para hindi ka rin maubusan. In case na nataranta ka, whatever it is, at least may safety net ka. May ad-libs ka that are ready, and you also have your little tidbits that you can share. And again, you just have to keep on doing it until you get used to it. It took me years and I still get nervous. But one of these days, magagamit mo talaga yung kaba to make you a better public speaker in the future. Promise. Feeling, mas kinakabahan ako na one day mawala yung kaba ko. Kasi I like the kaba. I like the thrill. So one day, ma-appreciate mo yan. Pero for now, you just have to get used to it. And try those things.
Ang ganda. Ngayon ko lang narinig yun eh. Yung parang pag nawalan ka ng kaba, parang, ibig sabihin nun, parang nawawalan ka na ng pake. Tama ba?
Medyo,
diba? Parang, kasi kinakabahan ka kasi ayaw mong, ano ba yung term na hindi F up? Para hindi mo masira yung event. Parang ganon.
Yeah. At saka kinakabahan ka because it's always something new. And new experiences are a gift. Diba? Not everybody can experience new things all the time. So anytime you feel kaba, it's a new experience. Kahit na same event yan, could be a different group of people, different time of day, whatever it is, it's still something new. So gamitin mo yung kaba na yun. Appreciate the kaba and be prepared, diba? Tapos use those tips. Don't look them in the eye just yet.
Cool.
Don't have expectations from the audience. Just have fun with yourself. Ayan.
Dito sa question ni John, dun sa about sa sinabi mong fake it till you make it, how do you define the fine line between faking confidence and faking competence?
Well, that's pretty easy. I don't want to say I don't want to promote faking competence because, as I said earlier, you have to be prepared. Be observant, understand whatever it is you're about to present so that you can connect to them. But there are times that you might have to fake competence. Kasi ako rin, I've experienced hosting medical events, very IT techie-centric events. And I have no idea what's going on. The speaker's talking about ang daming technical jargon, diba? Tapos hindi ko na talaga naiintindihan. So what I try to do is I try to get one thing, at least man lang one thing I understand from either the event, the speaker's speech, or the overall theme of the event. And then I will relate to that. I will expand. I will try to apply my experiences to that aspect. But if it's something I have no idea about, I skip it. Like I will just read it and I won't expound. Hindi ko na ipipilit. Kasi that's a lie na eh. You really have no idea what it's about. Diba? You just say it and then you move on. You move on to something that you actually do know about. So be prepared and then try not to fake competence in that sense, in a literal sense, diba? You can still try to sound impressive by gaining aspects of things that you understand. Because at the end of the day, hopefully, there will be at least one or two things na maiintindihan mo naman doon. So doon tayo mag-focus. Don't try to sound smart by talking about everything in detail. Because trust me, I've tried that. You're just gonna end up sounding more stupid. Wag ganon.
Yung tanong naman dito ni Daniel, what daily practice can you perform to boost your confidence?
On the practical, ano ba to? Confidence in general lang? Hindi naman confidence in hosting or anything, no?
Siguro in general and applicable sa paghahanap nila ng job or sa pag-start nila ng career.
Ako, yung general ko, and it seems very basic, pero to me, dahil tumatanda na rin ako, pero even when I was younger, I felt this too. Sobrang basic niya, but exercise and get enough sleep. Don't underestimate the power of that. Lalo na yung tulog. Kasi sobrang nakaka-affect talaga siya ng mental clarity mo and even your emotional state. So take good care of yourself. It really starts there. If you don't take care of yourself, it's almost like feeling mo hindi ka deserve to be taken care of. Yun lang naman yun eh. That's why they say nga you have to love yourself muna, di ba? I think it comes from that too. Kung hindi mo alagaan yung sarili mo, don't expect other people to do the same. Di ba? Kasi kung binabastos mo yung katawan mo, whatever, binabaliwala mo yung health mo, don't expect other people to do the same. So I really think just the basics can really, really help you gain your self-esteem. Because if you know you can take care of yourself, there's a certain confidence that comes with it eh. Na kaya mo yung sarili mo, kaya mong i-carry yung sarili mo. In terms of work, I think it's always important to know how to communicate again, to be able to connect with the people that you are talking to. So I think you need to practice that either with friends or people in the same field. Exchange ideas, get inspired. I think that's one of the biggest things too for me. I wasn't a big fan of hosting before. Dati talaga ginagawa ko lang siya kasi kailangan ko ng pera. Until I watched a few videos on YouTube or shows of hosts that I thought, oh, sobrang impressive nito. Medyo na-inspire ako. And when you get inspired, may konting confidence boost yun minsan, di ba? Parang, parang kaya ko rin yan. Parang gusto ko rin i-model yung sarili ko dyan sa ginagawa niya. There's something you can learn from those idols, from yung mga lodi na napapanood nyo. And I think it's a good way to get confident as well. Get inspired, get confident in whatever field you want to do, whether it be your office job or something in media, whatever it is. It's nice to have people to look up to. It'll help your confidence then.
Yung tanong naman dito ni Patricia, how do you handle that fear of mental block, especially when speaking in front of the stage or doing impromptu or memory speech?
Ooh. Well, the best way is to be prepared. I know that I sound like a broken record right now. Nangyayari yun. It still happens to me. Happens to me when I'm live, happens to me when I'm doing interviews. Parang, oh gosh, what was it? Or like, basta magsa-stop na lang yung ano ko. And that's why it's always good to have something on hand. If you can have cue cards na para pwede kang bumalik doon. Yeah, kasi if you know you have a safety net, if you know na may possibility naman talaga magka-mental block because we're all human, then knowing the fact that may sasalo sa'yo will help you be less scared of it. Kasi, okay, baka nga mangyari yon, pero pag nangyari yon, at least alam ko na yung gagawin ko. So, preparation is key pa rin, di ba? Kung alam mong may chance na mangyari yon, may chance naman talaga with everybody, then be prepared. Ngayon nga, medyo na mental block ako dun sa tanong mo. But yeah, don't let it stop you from trying, because normal lang yan, lahat tayo na may mental block.
And gaya din doon sa sinabi mo kanina, no, wag ma-fixate dun sa mistake mo and move on. Sobrang real na real yun sa situation na gano'n na mag-start ka na lang ulit ng panibagong point na hindi masyadong halata yung gap. And for example, sa interview, may pause, pero ayun, ituloy mo lang talaga siya, di ba? Na re-recover mo pa rin. Ay, nawalan ka, na-mute ka.
Ayan, diba? Medyo nagbago na yung quality ko. Sorry, I had to unplug my mic. But don't fixate on those mistakes. At kasama na rin yung mental block doon. You know, wag tayo mag-focus doon. Kung halimbawa na naka-recover ka na, don't say, ay, ano ba yan, na mental block ako. Ay, wait lang, paano ako. Hindi, just move on. Don't focus. If you don't focus on it, they won't focus on it too. Ganun lang kasimple yun. Kasi if you're gonna bring their attention to that mistake, to that mental block, to that stutter, then dun sila magfo-focus, dun sila tututok, diba? But if you move on from it, I think mag-move on na rin sila. It will be much easier.
Ito, quick tip on how to start a conversation with a stranger.
Anong klaseng stranger ba to? Mas okay kay Roan.
Parang conversation na rated PG.
Oo nga pala, nagre-remind ako ni Rowan kanina, ano lang tayo, saktong gabay at patnubay ng magulang ang kailangan sa charot lang. Talking to a stranger. Let me think about that for a second. Kasi ako, I don't really have that much of a problem doing it. Unless may crush ako sa'yo. So, sana hindi yun yung tinatanong mo. Kasi kung may crush ako sa isang tao, nako, I am the wrong person to. Hindi ko sila kakausapin. Mahihiya talaga ako. I think the best way is to always start with a compliment. Not a creepy compliment, but something short, something simple. Parang, oh, those are really cool earrings. Oh, I like your necklace. Parang ganun. Oh, that's a really nice patterned shirt. Start with something simple, casual like that. And then smile. I know it's so generic, but that's one of the things that I try to do. Kung may kakausapin ako na stranger, or if I'm playing wingman for somebody, I'd be like, oh, kung si Roan, let's say, stranger siya, di ba? And then I don't know, anywhere. I'm like, oh, wow, I really like your hair. Delivery is important, ha? Please, please, please. Delivery is important. Because there's a difference between, oh, hey, I like your hair, and, oh, hey, I like your hair. Kayo na bahala kung ano, kayo na mag-decide kung which will work and which won't, di ba? Medyo creepy. So delivery is always important. You know, in hosting and in radio, we have this saying na it's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. Lalo na sa radio and hosting, kasi ang dami-dami naming sinasabi, and usually people are distracted because they're doing so many other things, diba? They're driving, they're enjoying the event or whatever it is. So usually it's not like the specifics of what we say, pero how we say it, yung delivery style namin. You know, are we trying to speak in like if it were radio or hosting, medyo confident dapat yung dating. If you're trying to get to know a stranger, hindi dapat yung, oh, hey, I like your hair. You know, it's like, oh, hey, I really like your hair. You know, keep it light, keep it casual. Think about the delivery. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I think in Tagalog, applicable din talaga yun, di ba? Parang, uy, ang ganda naman ng hair mo. Or, uy, miss, ganda naman ng buhok mo.
Naging catcalling na pala, no?
Diba? Kasi, you know, we're all sensitive creatures, eh. We all interpret things differently. So, tone matters. Yung tono ng boses mo, how you say it, napaka-importante nun. Minsan, di ba, sa mga bars, may mga nag-aaway dahil lang mali yung pagkasabi niya ng something, na wala namang malice, walang bad intention, nag-aaway mga friends, misunderstandings because of the way we say things. So, if it's a stranger especially, focus on the delivery. Ayan.
Ito, last two quick questions. One thing na natutunan mo as a social media influencer ngayon na sana alam mo na nung fresh grad ka pa lang?
Oh, well, not necessarily because content creator na ako, pero more on because I do so many things. Like I have so many jobs right now. Don't be afraid to fail. Or, hindi, get used to failing. Masanay ka na. Yeah, I failed so many times, you guys. I have tried applying, kung sa job setting, I've tried applying for so many different jobs. Even when I was trying to do part-time sa Australia, there were stores that I wanted to work for that, you know, didn't want me. And then when I did radio before, I tried applying for different stations. Tapos when I stopped radio, I tried applying for different companies as marketing, whatever it is. I failed so many times. I wish I failed more. Kasi sa sobrang takot ko ma-reject, kokonti lang yung mga sinesend kong applications, kokonti lang yung mga ino-auditionan ko. And it wasn't until I was 29 na nagpanic ako na, shucks, tumatanda na ako. I need to keep pushing. And kahit na hate ko mag-VTR, mag-audition kasi sobrang insecure kong tao, pinush ko talaga. And I'm glad that I kept doing it and I failed. Yeah, I failed at so many different auditions then for shows, for events, for theme parks even, lahat-lahat na. And I'm kind of proud kasi minsan dito, may pagka-VIP mentality tayo na, uy, nakuha ko to kasi wala, handpick, pinili ako. Pero ako, proud ako na yung mga commercials ko. Nag-audition talaga ako from the start. As in, VTR to the ano, hindi ako pinili na, oh, ikaw yung gusto namin. Hindi. Talagang audition to the max. And I'm proud. I'm proud that I failed. And, I'm still definitely gonna keep on failing. I know it sounds so weird, no? Hearing failure be praised to this level. Yeah, and I still do it. Like, I still try out for stuff, I still audition, and I want to get used to it pa nga eh, kasi minsan masakit pa eh. I really want to get to that point na it doesn't bother me, na naiintindihan ko na it's part of the process. It really is, and you need to get used to it kasi sayang naman, sayang naman if you actually don't fail at something. You never know. So yeah.
So, ang official hashtag natin for today's video ay #trust the process. Di
Ako,
ba?
get used to failing.
Kasi, di ba, ang failure are part ng process natin. So, ito, last question. More of message. What is your message to college students, fresh grads, Gen Zs, or young millennials na nanunood at manunood ng video natin?
Oh, okay. Sayang, dapat dapat kinumbine na lang natin kasi yun pa rin yun eh. Get used to failing because you deserve to take every shot for yourself. Hindi tequila shot ha, hindi alak ha, hindi espresso shot ha, but you deserve mo yan. You, honestly, deserve mo talaga to take every shot that comes your way. Lalo na when you're still that young, full of gusto. Kasi ako, ang paniniwala ko talaga sa life, sorry, this is gonna get a little dark, Roan. I-censor nyo na lang. Real-time censor. Ganun. If it's dark. Ang belief ko talaga is we live in a very unfair, harsh world. That's the reality. That is the reality. Some people make it, some people don't. I want to know that at the end of my life, on my last day dito sa planet na to, that I at least gave myself a shot. I tried for me. Kasi even if I failed, di ba? And nandun na ako sa last day, at least I know, well, I tried. I tried it for me. And what more could I do? Wala na eh. Di ba? What more could I do? I tried it for me. I gave myself a shot. I didn't let myself down. Yun na yun. There's so many things not out of our control eh. But taking those opportunities, pursuing things, even if you feel like you're gonna fail at them, you can do that. And you deserve, you deserve talaga. You deserve to give yourself those shots. Diba? You miss every shot you don't take. That's what they say too. So, go lang. Naging Rufa eh. Go! Diba yan?
Ang daming, nagsasabing Gonta reveal daw.
Ay, sige. So, itatype ko muna yung bank account number ko para naman PF. Gota, come here.
Oo.
Gota. Teka lang One sec lang.
Sige.
Good boy. Come here.
So, habang tinatawag natin si Gonta, ang special guest natin, reminder lang na to set up your profile on Prospel. Nandyan sa comment section natin yung link, ph.prospel.com. And don't forget to sign the e-certificate form request. Nandyan din yung link. And next week, meron tayong another session of Career Talk Thursdays, preparing for an interview at a top firm. So, nandyan din yung link for registration. So, ayan na yung special guest natin, di ba? Sobrang in demand. Di ba? Gonta, ang dami mong compliment today,
Oo nga eh. Ito na nga yung pinaka-humbling experience ko bilang content creator. Accepting na demand yung aso ko sa akin. Any live that I do, siya talaga yung hinahanap. Kau na nga lang mag-interview. Go, sagot.
Oh, cute. Ayan. So, si Gonta, din yan, self-confident yan eh.
Ito yung tunay na confident, yung walang pake, unaffected by everything. Basta may air. Unbothered king. Ayan. Abangan nyo guys, soon magkaka-real life collab na si Gonta at saka si Roan. Diba?
So, meron ka bang gustong i-plug na social media or yung treats ni Gonta, di ba? Yung bagong-bago.
Yes, kung naghanap kayo ng masarap at healthy na treats for your dogs, then please do check out Gonta's Goodies. It's on Shopee and very reasonably priced. Yung salmon, pwede nyo rin kainin for yourselves kasi naman philosophy namin is, you should give your pet something that you would eat too. And sa mga cat moms like Roanne, pwede rin siya for cats. So, Gonta's Goodies.
Sige, try namin yan, ha? Dapat, tapos ako pala yung natuwa, no? Ako yung umubos.
Ikaw yung umubos. Ayan. And then, on Instagram, it's at show.suzuki. Show Suzuki on TikTok and everywhere else. So yun lang. Thank you so much for having me. I had fun.
Thank you so much. Kuya Show. Napapatagalog na tayo ng malalim dito.
Move on.
Yun yung natutunan ko kay Show ngayon. So, salamat sa time mo today and sobrang dami mo na-inspire sa comment section. And hopefully, mas marami ka pang ma-inspire and i-follow nyo lang yung TikTok ni Show. Sobrang marami kayo matututunan. And, ayun, kung gusto nyo rin i-dog show siya, charot.
Kailangan.
Ayun. So, follow nyo lang siya. And that ends our Career Talk Thursdays, Personal Branding 101, How to Build Confidence and Self-Esteem. Thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, I'm your guest host, Roanne, and follow us and stay tuned on our social media channels for updates. So, kita-kits ulit next Thursday. Bye, guys!
Bye!
Bye, Konda! Bye, Show!